Brian Wilson, the sonic architect behind the Beach Boys and one of the most influential figures in American music, has died at the age of 82. The announcement came from his family, who said they were sharing our grief with the world. No cause of death was released, but Wilson had been diagnosed with dementia and placed under conservatorship earlier this year, following the death of his wife Melinda. Wilson's life was a story of extraordinary talent, often shadowed by personal torment. As the eldest of three brothers, he co-founded the Beach Boys in 1961, giving voice to California's surf-soaked dreams. But Wilson was more than a frontman. He was a studio innovator, a composer whose work on albums like Pet Sounds helped redefine what pop music could be. With songs like Good Vibrations, God Only Knows, and Wouldn't It Be Nice, Wilson tapped into something deeper than sunshine and sand. His genius was unmistakable. So was his fragility. By the early 70s, success gave way to silence. Wilson became reclusive, battling drug addiction, mental illness, and the psychological scars left by a difficult childhood and an abusive father. At one point, he built a sandbox around his piano. For years, he barely left the house. But his story didn't end in darkness. He returned again and again. In the 90s and 2000s, Wilson launched a solo career and even completed Smile, the legendary album he once abandoned. He played stages around the world, received Grammy Awards, Kennedy Center honors, and a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction. Even in his later years, with fading health and a fading voice, Brian Wilson remained a symbol of endurance and of what music can still do when it dares to reach.
Brian was the most talented musician in pop music of the 20th century, if we had to pick one. I'm not sure there's even competition for that, as much as we all love the Beatles, people like that. Just in terms of being innately gifted. Not as a lyricist, certainly not as a raconteur. He was not a particularly verbal person, even in his best periods. But the sophistication of that music. I mean, a year or two ago, they put out a Dolby Atmos version of the Pet Sounds album, which is widely considered one of the greatest albums of all time. And it's really like listening to this incredible symphony when you're able to hear all those different parts. It just bowls you over. On top of just having, very simple melodies, obviously fun, California girls, it's not that deep. So he could do the simple and, the most complex music in the world.
Wilson is survived by his 7 children and by the songs that shaped a generation. He was the sound of a golden era and the silence that followed.
I don't know whether to call it a magazine or a newspaper.
What can I say? As you can see, the iconic screen magazine. It is, I'm on the cover. It's really nice to be on the cover.
Karan, this is your surprise for the evening.
I remember there were so many times that, he would just turn back and he'd look at me and I was like, Agnipat!
माँ के पैरों के नीचे स्वर्ग है, अरे बाप के पैरों के नीचे जायदाद है।
गीत और आदित्य का अभी ब्रेकअप हो रहा है, फ्रस्ट्रेट हो गए हैं वो दोनों एक दूसरे से, है ना? आदित्य बोल रहा है ये अपनी आपकी खुद की फेवरेट है, कौन झेल सकता है इसे?
If you could legalize one thing in India, what would it be? Prostitution, gambling, or marijuana?
I can't hear you.
We have seen you as more of a glamorous role in South Indian movies. And you went to Bombay. I don't know what transformed you. You're today totally different role.
Feel nepotism or no nepotism, I'm here. किसी के बाप की इंडस्ट्री नहीं है.
कहीं ना कहीं मेरी भी opportunities कई बार ऐसे गई हैं जहाँ पे मुझे ऐसा लगा कि maybe I should have gotten the opportunity rather than someone who's from the family.
I love reading your reviews. When you really love something, you genuinely have, and that means a lot.
But that's the whole thing, you guys don't give up in life.
I wish you all the very best. May Screen digitally prosper.